All right, guys. So today, Michaela in town. If you don't know Michaela, you should know Michaela.
I'm not quite that famous.
Women's physique pro and bodybuilding pro, depending on what season.
Depending on the day.
Yeah, depending on the day. But anyway, I've known Michaela now for, I don't even know, a few years, and I always say nice stuff about Michaela when we're on camera, so I can make her uncomfortable.
Only on camera.
Yeah. But no, honestly, Michaela is absolutely one of my favorite people to train. I don't think I've ever said this. This is like maybe a slightly backhanded compliment, but mostly a compliment, so get ready for it. But in the bodybuilding world, this is probably the best compliment that I can give. It's like honestly first seeing Michaela, because I'm sure I saw you train probably with Dallas and Matt before I think we ever met up. I don't even know when we trained for the first time or whatever. But like obviously seeing her train and seeing her train was just like holy shit. Because one of the first things I remember is when you squatted 135 for like an hour and a half basically. Yeah, exactly. And then, but honestly, seeing her first competing, my thoughts honestly were like, man, like I don't know how far her genetics are gonna take her. And so that's a backhanded compliment. And I will say this very, very rarely, like Michaela has legitimately outworked her genetics like more than I think anyone I've ever seen. So again, that's my backhanded compliment. We're again being completely honest. Some people you look at and they don't have to do anything. You're just like, oh, that structure's crazy, everything's nuts. And again, if you look at some of Michaela's pictures right when she started, not too many people would look and be like, oh, she doesn't have to do anything. She's got the structure and the blah, blah, whatever, all the potential. So again, that's the best compliment I can get. Is few people will ever outwork their genetics the way Michaela has. So anyway, I love to work with her. I love to work with you. It's awesome. It's always fun. You work your ass off. And then you're just a nice person. So I like hanging around nice people.
that's the most important. So.
Yeah. So that's always good. I have a strict no asshole policy, and I enforce it now. Basically, since over the age of 30, I have zero tolerance. So anyway, that's a side note. And so basically, kind of Michaela's getting a little bit back in the groove of things, and so just kind of coming in a little bit, just basically. Talk about leg training. And again, it's great for me, like, because Michaela really knows what she's doing. At the same time, she wants a little bit of a change. She wants to bring her quads up.
Never know everything.
Yeah, well, and at the same time too, it's the whole thing is nothing's ever perfect.
Right.
And hopefully, if you're doing it the right way, especially from a physique standpoint, everybody's always got stuff they want to work on. Everybody got stuff that grows a little bit easier, a little bit harder. And again, I definitely say Michaela has not the best genetics on the planet for legs, but obviously they're progressing and they're growing great. So basically, just wanted to kind of talk things over. Here's where I'm at, here's what I'm going on, and see if there's anything we can add to it. And I told her ahead of time where it's like, most people, honestly, I could look around on social media and look around with people that I know, and I'm like, man, almost everyone, like, they have such a massive opportunity to improve. I mean, I hate to say it, but I always feel like I look at anyone, I'm like, I could make them giant, like, easily. I wouldn't even have to think hard. But Michaela, I watch her train, and I'm like, man, I was like, everything's like 99% of the way there. And again, her adherence, all the things that really define someone that's going to be successful, it's all there. So at the beginning of the session, I told her, I'm like, I don't want to lie and pretend like, oh yeah, I'm so good. We're going to like just have your quads 6 inches bigger by the end of the session. But at the same time, honestly, it's about as fun for me as it gets. So like hanging out with someone that I like hanging out with, I know she's going to work hard. But also for me, it's like from a skill set standpoint, I have to like think and try and figure some stuff out. So even when we're in here, I'm having her. You'll see I got her rolling around the floor, just kind of looking at what she's got going on from
the real hard stuff.
Yeah, the real hard stuff. I made her use her abs, so that was entertaining. But all that kind of stuff, where it's again for me, it's just kind of investigating a little bit. I always say I don't want to get too much out of my scope of practice and pretend I'm like correcting or whatever a whole lot. But we kind of see like, do her hips move okay, her ankles move okay, what's kind of her core control, and like it gives us maybe some little clues for things we want to look at or improve upon. And we found some stuff. So again, some things maybe I'll give her a little bit of homework working on her hips, working on her ability to contract her quads, mainly her rec fem as well too, which is a quad muscle that crosses over the hip. 2, 1, good. So, but you see, you kind of have a little bit of mirror, because actually, excuse me, the other way around. This one actually externally rotated better, but internally rotates worse, and this one's the opposite image. So all that could potentially mean, or it could mean nothing. Lots of times when you have something like that, where they're kind of like the mirror image, where again, like one, again, I'd have to think about it now, I'm going to confuse myself. But because that one externally rotates, no, that one internally rotates, yeah, better. So they basically do like this type of thing, which could indicate maybe something going on with your torso. Lock out, flex the quad as hard as you can, and then keeping that locked and keeping it completely locked, so don't let that bend at all. Raise it up as high as you can, and then when you're here, hold it. And I might even give you just a little bit on the last couple to kind of lightly press into my hand. And then from there, nice smooth raise up, keeping that quad flexed as hard as you can. And then just wherever it ends, we'll just go the first couple without pressing it at all. And then just focus on that squeeze if you want. 1, One more. 3, 2. So again, basically the exact same feel as you would have for like a calf raise, but think about pointing your ankles to the ceiling. So don't really think too much like toe stuff, if that makes sense. Just think about get your ankles as high as you can, press the ball of the foot down into the edge there, and then on the way up, squeeze up as high as you can. So focusing on this thingy squeezy, and again, basically toes towards you as much as you can. Range squeeze, calves. 3, 2, 1. Toes towards you. Shins, hard squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Just from that, some TVA contractions. But basically, just get in a position first where your spine's flat on the ground so you don't have any arch in the lower back. And then you can even put hands on your belly if it helps. And I want you to inhale through the nose. And as you inhale, intentionally push your belly button out as far as you can. And then when you exhale through the nose again, bring your belly button as far as you can, actively pulling it basically towards your spine, towards the floor. And when it's as far as it can go, I want you to focus on that feeling that you get and hold that contraction you're feeling. Same thing, 3 to 5 seconds. No problem. And then right when you feel it should almost be kind of crampy, hold. 3, 2, 1. Squeezy. 3, 2, 1. Lower back into the ground. So you're going to be kind of in this little crunchy type thing right here. So this is going to be the start position. And then what I'm going to have you do is you're going to alternate, and don't worry about the coordination part if it's retarded to start, but I'm going to have you bring a leg out and an arm out at the same time. And the whole goal has nothing to do, I don't care how you move your arm, I don't care how you move your leg. That's just weight to make everything want to twist and turn. Your whole goal is to keep your pelvis in the same spot, keep crunched up so your rib cage doesn't move, your pelvis doesn't move, and your spine doesn't move. Reset, little crunch up, slow out. There we go. Slow, 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 slow. Right there, stop. Now back in. There we go. Slow, slow, slow. Pause. And then from there we just kind of went through a session. So kind of talked a little bit about stuff she's done before. So we did stuff in a similar order. Tweaked the way that she was doing hacks just a little bit. You know, really worked on the bottom position, the purpose of the hacks. And then nice too, talking about the way that we have the hack here set up. So stuff like this makes a big difference the higher you get. So
yeah, that's the thing with me. It's like Joe said, like I've done something to where I maximize like my genetics, and my genetics are something that I never really thought about. I just seen what I looked like, and I seen what I wanted to change, and I figured out ways to do that. And I'm at the point now, I definitely don't think that I've maximized my potential, but I feel like I've definitely made the most out of the effort that I put in. And I want to find not necessarily new ways, but better ways. And I don't necessarily need to work harder, I need to work better. And just like minor things like chasing the percents type thing to really want to improve and get to a higher level than where I've been and where I am.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to go on a good tangent, but something Michaela said there, which is we should just play that over and over in slow motion. But she never thought about her genetics, which again is like it drives me nuts now how people all the time that will ask me, like, do you think I have potential? Like, do you think I can do this? Do you think I can turn pro? Do you think I can blah, blah, blah? And I'm just like, what are you even asking for? Like, what does that even matter? All you can do is wake up tomorrow and do you want to put in work or not? And whatever happens, happens. And at the end of the day, like, you look at for me, I always look at the elite level, it's a double-edged sword because the best in the world are very competitive. But at the same time, does anyone think that what really made Ronnie Coleman win more Olympias than Jay Cutler is because he outworked Jay Cutler? I mean, personally, I think Jay Cutler probably couldn't have done any more. So there is a point where yes, genetics make a difference, but don't worry about it. Yeah. You just take it as far as you can. And again, winning 4 Mr. Olympias for Jay, I mean, that's still all right, I guess.
So that's kind of like at the point where I feel like I'm at, like, I've worked so hard and like I always feel like I can work harder and work harder and work harder, and there's only so much work that you can put in. So that's why, like, I come to somebody like Joe and I'm like, okay, like, help me look at what I'm doing and help me make the most of the work that I am doing.
Good, Michaela, take your time now. Use once a count. On that body, hard. Good. Control. Hard. Good. Hard. Good, we got a couple couple now. These are the ones you came for. Control. On that bottom. Hard. There we go. Come on again. Control. Hard. Up, 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 up. Again. Come on. Control. Best reps now. Hard. Good. Again. Come on. Control. Hard. Up, 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 up. I got you again. Come on. Keep it the same now. All you're thinking is the same. Control. Hard. One more now. Last one. Control, control, control. On that bottom. Same spot. Up, 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 up. Finish, finish. Money. Good. That's good.
Yeah.
To your top sets, you just get what you get. You know what I mean? And obviously you got, you know, at this point in time, like every once in a while, you know, like literally it could be once or twice a year, if something actually feels bad, you know, know when to pull the trigger and just call it. But aside from that, like sometimes you'll have days.
I'm bad about that too. I'll just get ticked and then still do it.
But at some point in time, you got to learn to not do that. Yeah. So honestly, the session, I mean, for me, like I said, it's a lot of fun because it's a nice balance of work, and I'm impressed. Like because again, Michaela said one is she's worked as hard as she can, but also I like to fine tune the definition of work hard, which obviously you'll see we weren't using like pink dumbbells in here the whole time. So obviously I don't even really think about the weight that we're using, but I know that has to be relatively high, otherwise it's not going to be challenging. And then at the same time, we try and maximize, you know, execution. Within that as well too. So again, it's always a balance of doing both of those as high as you possibly can will equate to really true hard work. Yeah. And so for me, I'm always impressed when people do both. I mean, there's people that can deadlift 800 pounds and not taking anything away from them. That's unbelievable. But for me, if I see someone doing insane weight and their form is amazing, and I can see that they're actually taking as far as they're capable of, because someone could do an impressive weight for an impressive amount of reps, but still be sandbagging and leave them in the tank. So the whole session for me is fun as hell because, you know, as you see, Michaela's got great form. We're using significant weight. We're putting in a high level of effort. Come on. Strong. Good. Come on now. Up. Keep going. Good job now. Just keep it the same. Hard. There we go. Come on. On that bottom. That's what you're there for. Hard. Yep. Come on. Again. Control. Control. Own it. Hard. Good. Again, better at the bottom here. Control, control, control. Same spot. Hard. There we go. Come on. One more. Last one now. I got you. Control, control, control. Best rep. Own it. Hard. I'll get you there. Go, 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 go. Keep going, keep going. Yes. Great stuff. So again, we start with hacks, and honestly, you'll see a lot of stuff as I'm just kind of feeling stuff out. We're using a lot of our warm-up sets basically just for practice, you know, kind of overdoing that whole good form thing, trying some stuff out. It's never like I really like, oh, here's the exact answer. It's like, well, try this, put this here, see how this goes, and obviously go hugely by her feedback. And so we basically just kind of felt up, you know, a top set on the hacks. We did a back off set on the hacks. We were talking about the profile that I've set there, so everyone, the bands, you know, gets kind of confusing. Some people do it right, some people do it wrong. The whole thing is to make it really, really hard. And you'll see the big thing that I want is I want Michaela out of the bottom to contract as hard as she can. And as she's contracting and pushing as hard as she can, especially as we get to those last reps, the whole thing's at a snail's pace. There's never a point where she just kind of pops up to the top, you know, once she's through the hardest part. And that's really the goal, is if obviously you've been doing this for a little bit and you know what hard work feels like, you'll know how hard that was. You know, so you know how heavy that weight is, and you know that I'm the same boat. I did the same thing as everybody else when I start training. You know, you do squats and hack squats. You don't really think about that stuff a whole lot. And then when you actually have somebody kind of explain it to you and show it to you, and you actually then, most importantly, apply it and experience it, there's not really a selling point. I don't need to like draw graphs and show why accommodating resistance and bands and stuff are important. You do it properly, and you're like, holy shit, I've never felt that level of hard work before, and it's awesome. I mean, again, I half laugh and smile when she's going through sets. one, because I like hurting her in a nice way, but also I know exactly what it feels like, and I actually know the satisfaction.
You
of
can
like,
look at it and feel it.
Yeah,
too,
and I'm like, it goes from obviously hopefully having coached a lot of people and obviously going through all that myself. And honestly, I love it. I love when you feel like you're actually working really hard, but also efficiently. Because kind of what we talked about, there's no skill set to just like putting 8,000 plates on and watching her crumble and do 47 drop sets. I want things to be hard and I want things to be efficient. So I feel like we did a great job with that on the hacks, fine-tuning stuff a little bit there. Went through and did the same thing with the leg extension, so doing a lot of practice, a lot of warm-up sets, really getting the most out of that exercise, which specifically is that top contracted position. Same structure, so a top set, a back off set, and then we'll do leg press, and then I'm gonna have you finish on the prowler a little bit today.
Okay.
And let your ankles out just a tiny bit. Knees stay split. There we go. And so basically what I'm looking at is like straight line if you can.
Yeah.
Really smooth and hard at the top. Yep. Good. Good. Hard. Right there. Now you think the same thing. Every rep the same. Hard, 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 hard. Good. Keep going, everything the same. Nice pace, nice control. No break, right up. Hard, 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 hard. Same spot. Come on. Again. Control. Last one here. Come on. Up, 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 up. Squeeze. Good. Good set. Pull yourself in tight. Let your hips move an inch. Squeeze, great job. Everyone like that. Just focus on that hard contraction, focus on that position. There we go, good. Good. Up, 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 up. Squeeze. Good. Keep going now. Everything the same. All the way up. Nail that top. Hard. Right there. Good. All the way up. Up, 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 up. Hard. Good. Again. Nail that top. That's all you're thinking about. I'll get you there. Go, 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 go. Good. Come on. Another one here. Let's go. Up, hard, squeeze. Good. Last drop, couple more. Hard, hard, hard. Great. Come on. Another one. All the way up, 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 up. Squeeze. One more. Last one. All the way up. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Couple partials at the bottom. These can be pretty quick. Bring them all the way down, right here to my hand. Right there, not that high, a little bit quicker. Right there, good. Keep going, a little quicker even. Good. A little quicker, don't pause at the bottom. There you go, come on. 5, come on. 4, come on. 3, good. Last 2. 1. Yep. Great job.